Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter number 3, entitled Rishabhadeva's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of King Nabi. Verse number 10. Athayam eva varayohi arhattamayarhi barhishi rajarshevar darshabo bhavan nija puruse kshana vishayasi. Translation purport by Abhacharanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. O most worshipable of all, you are the best of all benefactors, and your appearance at saintly King Nabi's sacrificial arena is meant for our benediction. Because you have been seen by us, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. Purport. Nija Purusha Ekshana Vishaya. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is equal to everyone. In that sense, he has no enemies and no friends. Everyone is enjoying the fruitive reactions of his own work, and the Lord within everyone's heart is observing and giving everyone the desired result. However, just as the devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord satisfied in every way, similarly, the Supreme Lord is very anxious to present himself before his devotees. Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. Thus, Krishna's appearance is for the deliverance and satisfaction of his devotees. Actually, he does not advent himself simply to kill the demons, for that can be done by his agents. Lord Vishnu's appearance at the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabi was just to please the king and his assistants. Otherwise, there was no reason for his being present there. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
In this chapter, Lord Vishnu has made his appearance in the sacrificial arena of King Nabhi, his wife, and his assistant priests, Ritvijas. So, and the priests are offering prayers to the Lord who has appeared there. And an important subject that the priests are mentioning in their prayers is, why did the Lord appear here? And that is one of the subject matters of the Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the 6 subject matters, and hence the same theme is continuing in today's verse. They are saying, Atha ayam eva varohya arhattama yarhi barhishi rajarsher varadarshabho bhavan nija purushekshana vishaya asit. Arhattama, arhati, arhat is worship. Arhattama means it is superlative, most worshipable. Arhat, arhattara, arhattama, most worshipable. So, another word they have used to address the Lord is Varadha Rishabha. Varadha Rishabha, the foremost of those who give Vara, benediction. Varada, da means to give, dayate. So, he is the one who gives benediction. Someone may say, oh, Devatas also give benediction. Yes, he is the foremost of those who give benediction. That's why he's known as Varada Rishabha. And the priests are saying, Atha, I am eva varaha, he. Your appearance itself here is a benediction for us. You have appeared here. in front of us. That is itself a benediction. Athayam eva varaha hi arhattama. Here he, Barhishi Rajarsher, King Nabhi, his Barhishi, his sacrifice that is being performed by him. There you have appeared. That itself is a benediction. And then they are saying, Bhavan Nija Purushekshana Vishaya Asi. Nija Purusha. Purusha refers to the Lord, the Supreme Lord. Of course, it can refer to human beings, devotees, all of that. But in this context, it is Purusha. And Nija Purusha. We sing in the morning for Tulsi Arati. E nivedhana dharo, sakir anugata karo, seva adhikara diye, karo nija dasi. Right? Nija dasi. So our prayer to Tulsi is, Nija dasi, make me your personal servant. Nija dasi. Nija means your own, your personal. So make me, karo nija dasi, make me your own servant, maid servant, personal servant. That's the prayer of the devotee who composed the song, and that should be the mood of all of us when we are offering arati to Tulasi. Make me your own servant. So nija dasi, here it is nija purusha. So the Lord's own personal assistants, his own personal, what he considers them to be his own, and they are referring to his devotees. So Nija Purusha refers to devotees. Here Nija Purusha, of your devotees, Prabhupada's translation. Now, of your devotees, Nija Purusha, Ikshana Vishaya. Ikshana, to see, Vishaya, the object of their sight. So, the object of their sight is Bhavan, yourself. That is how it is. Bhavan, Nija Purushekshana Vishaya Asit. You have come in front of us, and you are our most desired object of vision, the object of the sight. Ikshana Vishaya. So this is for the devotees to see the Lord, and the Lord is the Ikshana Vishaya. Bhavan Nija Purusha Ikshana Vishaya Asit. You have become the object. You are actually the object of vision of the devotees. And so you have appeared. And so your appearance itself is a benediction for us. And who are you? You are the one who is the most worshipable, and you are the one who gives the highest benediction, and your appearance is the highest benediction for us. That is what they are saying. O most worshipable of all, Arhattama, you are the best of all benefactors, Varada Rishabhaha, and your appearance at saintly King Nabhi's sacrificial arena is meant for our benediction. Athayameva varohi. Because you have been seen by us, Ikshana Vishaya, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. Now let us see how Srila Prabhupada develops the purport for a shloka, for a verse like this. Very interesting. Prabhupada mentions this, Nija Purusha Ikshana Vishaya. That's how the purport is beginning. Devotees, object of vision. And then Prabhupada switches to in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So this is a verse from the 9th chapter. Right? 9th chapter is known as Krishna promises in the beginning, I'm going to tell you the most confidential knowledge to you. So these are all confidential aspects of confidential knowledge. Idam te guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave jnana vijnana sitam yajnatva moksha se ashubha raja vidya raja guhya. This is how Krishna began. So 9th chapter is Raja Guhya, most confidential, Guhyatamam Jnana. There, this verse is there. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha. Because every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So he is Samoham sarvabhuteshu. He has to be equal to everyone. Name dveshyosti na priyaha. Na dveshyaha. Na priyaha asti. So there is nobody whom the Lord hates. There is no one whom the Lord is especially dear to. After saying this, then Krishna says, but. Oh, that means there is something else. It's like saying, I know English, but I cannot write. You see, I only know to speak. I know Hindi, but that means I'm saying that I'm qualifying the first statement I made. I know Hindi, but I cannot read. You see, it's so in the same way, tu, the word tu, Srila Prabhupada explains all this in various places. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, the word tu means but. So Krishna is bringing an exception now. I said I am equal to all. I have no one who is enemy to me, no one who is dear to me, but so something coming up. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. Mam bhaktya bhajanti, ye, those who serve me, worship me with devotion. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, ye bhajanti, te mai te. So this is an expression, mai te, teshu chapyaham. Mai te, teshu cha api aham. Aham teshu mai te. So what does this mean? Mai te, they are in me and I am also in them. Literally, if you try to translate. Mai te, teshu aham, teshu api aham. They are in me and I am in them. So this one has to be properly understood. Mai te, Mayavadis may make some different kind of an interpretation. Mai te, they are in me, meaning they are with me always. And I am also with them always. That is the intent. Mai te. That is why Prabhupada translates this as they are, but those, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all. Right? That's the first sentence. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion, bhaktya bhajanti. Etumam bhaktya bhajanti. Bhaktya etumam bhajanti tumam bhaktya. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me. See how nicely Prabhupada translates. He is a friend. He is a friend to me. And he is in me. And I am also a friend to him. He is friend to me, and I am also a friend to him. So this is a special quality of Krishna. Although he is equal to everybody, if somebody renders service to him with bhakti, he has a special disposition towards them, although he is equal to everyone. So this is the nature of Krishna, that bhakti attracts him. This is what is elaborated by Rupa Goswami. One of the qualities of bhakti is that although Krishna attracts everyone and everything, he is attracted by bhakti. Krishna akarshiti. Bhakti, Krishna akarshati. Bhakti can attract Krishna. This is his nature, his svabhava. So when Srila Prabhupada went to America, he carried few books with him. He carried Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he carried the commentaries of Bhagavad Gita by Baldev Vidyabhushana, Vishwanath Chakravarti. They were all small books, and he had carried a few in a trunk, all of that. So Prabhupada would always relish reading these commentaries on the Gita. And so he was all alone. Actually, they were all very young people, right? Americans. They're just understanding what is soul, what is karma. First time they're hearing all these things. So they were all very young. And whenever there was opportunity, Prabhupada would be absorbed reading these different commentaries. And then he would give classes. So in 1966, there were many, many classes. There are long classes, if you carefully see. There, the Prabhupada is describing the foundations of Krishna consciousness, trying to convince those young people who are coming to him, trying to convince them about Krishna consciousness. Who is Krishna? What is Krishna Bhakti? What is this tradition? How this has to be understood? All such topics are covered. So when Prabhupada is talking on this verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada quotes, actually that is given in Baladev Vidyabhushana's commentary, and so Prabhupada is quoting that. In the Bhagavatam it is said, Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman. This is Shukadeva Goswami's verse in the 10th canto, some 59th verse or chapter or something like that. So there, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, what is the nature of Krishna is that Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman. Bhaktiman means what? Shaktiman means one who has got Shakti. Bhaktiman means one who has got Bhakti. To whom? Bhakta Bhaktiman. So we usually talk about, from our perspective, we have to develop bhakti to the Lord, right? Which is important. That's an important perspective. Now, the Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami, they are telling what is the Lord's disposition. And because devotees are devoted to him, he is also devoted to the devotee. This is an important point. Just like we are trying to be devoted to the Lord, and sometimes some devotees make advancement and they become purified and they become pure devotees, purely devoted to the Lord. Anya bilashita shunyam. And reciprocally, the Lord also becomes devoted to them. This is a very confidential aspect of the Lord's personality. His Swarupa he is describing. What is my nature? That is why this is considered to be a confidential aspect of the Lord's knowledge about his Swarupa, what he is revealing in the 9th chapter. Bhagavan is Bhakta Bhaktiman. So, here you see, so Prabhupada began, this is priests telling, right? The Lord, you have appeared, your appearance itself is a benediction for us because your vision, seeing you, is the object of the sight, object of vision for your devotees. This is what the priests have said. So to comment on that, Prabhupada began with this verse, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. He's beginning and he's developing. And then Prabhupada is saying, the personality of Godhead is equal to everyone. In that sense, he has no enemies and no friends. This is Bhagavad Gita 9:29. Everyone is enjoying the fruitive reactions of his own work, and the Lord within everyone's heart is observing and giving everyone the desired result. Actually, we talk about law of karma. Actually, the law of karma is a very natural, reasonable outcome. Actually, the law of karma simply says, all of us are responsible for our work. We make choices, and hence we become responsible for our choices. Animals make no choice. That's why you see animals, their eating habits are fixed. Lion won't go and eat grass. Cow won't go and eat meat. Birds, some birds eat fruits, some birds eat flesh, some birds eat rubbish, different things. So their food, everything is defined, and they are defined by the Lord, and they are following that. Whereas as human beings, this is the first time in the evolution of all the living entities, birds, animals, insects, now consciousness is developed. Now we can make choices. And according to the choice we have made, we have to get the result. This is simple. We are responsible for our work. Just like in the material world, you get educated, you go to college, and then you do your work, and then you'll get a good job. Suppose you become a criminal, you are responsible for that. You will get your life next, you will get caught, your photo will be in the police station, and something else will happen. You'll go, come back, again do stealing. Your life is like that. You are responsible for your action. And the Lord is neutral. He is equal to everyone. And He is a witness. Your desire, He is allowing. He wants to advise you, but you don't want to hear. In the material consciousness, there is so many things going on in our mind. We are not ready to hear any Lord's voice. I'm very sure about my own ideas. That's buzzing around in my head, and I'm going about in my life. Where is the opportunity to hear the Lord's words? So the Lord has said, all right, I leave it to you. And then Prabhupada makes something very special, makes a statement here. Usually, you see, we have to read Srila Prabhupada's books carefully and again, otherwise we'll miss out many things. Normally, we would think, what are we? We are all devotees. We all want to satisfy the Lord. Devotees want to satisfy the Lord. This is a general statement that we all have about devotees, right? But Prabhupada makes something very different statement here, which we can miss out. However, just as the devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord satisfied in every way. There is more. I'll just stop here for now. Now let's look at this sentence. The devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord satisfied in every way. First of all, there are two words here, always and anxious. Wanting to do something and being anxious about something is a very big difference. It's not that the devotees want to satisfy the Lord. Devotees are anxious to satisfy the Lord. You see, there is a certain intensity that is coming. It is taking the whole mood to another level altogether. Wanting to do and being anxious to do. And anxious then once in the morning, once in the evening, devotees become anxious. No, always anxious. This is devotees' mood. However, just as the devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord satisfied in every way, this is actually what our mood should be. Always anxious. You see, Srila Prabhupada brought out these kind of important things, important principles of devotional life in so many occasions. Once Prabhupada was in Melbourne, Australia in 1976. And we all know Srila Prabhupada used to take a morning walk. Right? Doctor had advised him, and then after the second heart attack he had made a practice to take a walk. And he went for a walk in a botanical garden. And usually devotees would go with him and they would ask some questions, and there would be very interesting conversations called the morning walk conversations, which are recorded. So when Prabhupada was in this morning walk, a devotee triggers some discussion, and then it is in this conversation Prabhupada coins a phrase, Krishna anxiety. Krishna anxiety. And then he gives the example of Mother Yashoda. She's always anxious. Mother Yashoda is anxious, Nanda is anxious. Because they have always heard some big demons come. When long demon came, big demon came, flying demon came, different kinds of demons. And the boys, when they go out to the forest and come back in the evening, they tell another story. Some big demon came and Krishna punched him and he died. So most of the time they thought these children are just making up some stories about Krishna. But sometimes they also had seen Putana. She was a big witch. When she died, she was 8 miles long. And it took many days and months for the body to finally, after that it was set on fire. And then even Aghasura was a huge, whenever they went to the forest, they would see that it had died. And it took many, many months to decay and vanish. So the boys would tell about all these things. So Mother Yashoda was always in anxiety. Some monkey will come and harm him. Krishna may fall into some water or something. Always in anxiety. Nanda also always in anxiety about Krishna's safety, being to take care of Krishna. This is their Vatsalya Bhakti. When Prabhupada comments on that, he says, usually religions tell that God is our Father. He will provide everything so that we are free from anxiety. But the higher level of understanding is that yes, God is the provider, definitely. But the devotee becomes the provider for God, and he takes anxiety to look after God. This is a much higher level of devotion, which is revealed in the Bhagavatam. So, these Yashoda, Nanda, they are anxious, always anxious. And then Prabhupada brings the discussion about deity worship. Deity worship is another is what is given by the acharyas to develop such anxiety for the sadhakas like us. So that on time cooking happens, on time the arati happens, on time we come for the arati, we come to sing the arati. So this helps us. That's why if you see on our Brahmachari ashram bridge at 4:25, the whole bridge is shaking. Right? 50 devotees are running. See how Prabhupada has created that value system in us? You're all rushing, running, coming, catching up, and come to the temple hall to be there, to see the Lord. You see how Prabhupada has is nicely training us? So, this is being anxious about the Lord's service. Being anxious about, I must maintain the Lord's temple nicely. I must build that Lord's temple nicely. It should be a beautiful temple, nice facility. And to take anxiety for that. This is sadhakas. When we are purified, like Mother Yashoda, Nanda, they can be anxious. Right now, if we don't take anxiety for the Lord, we will take anxiety to satisfy our own senses. That is the nature of living a conditioned soul. Now, bhakti is to change that nature of the conditioned soul, to purify him so that he will become anxious, takes anxiety for serving the Lord. That is why in the Bhagavatam first canto, first chapter, Prayen alpayushah sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayor manda bhagya hyopad. This is sages of Naimisharanya. They are talking. They are addressing Sutta Goswami, right? When they are developing those 6 questions, they are developing the context. Sutta Goswami, now Kali Yuga is about to begin, or it has begun. Now in Kali Yuga, Prayena Alpa Ayushaha. People of Kali Yuga, they have Alpa Ayushaha. Kalav Asmin Yuge Janaha. Asmin Kale Janaha. The people of Kali Yuga. Manda. They are lazy about spiritual life. Sumanda Matayaha. Their intelligence is also misguided. Manda Bhagya. They are unfortunate. So many bogus sadhus they'll fall into, become their followers, and they'll get misled. And if they are not lazy, if they take to spiritual life, they can be misguided because Sumanda Matayaha. If they are careful in their discerning and carefully trying to practice spiritual life, they are unfortunate. They'll fall into some bogus gurus, some organization, some institution, some sampradaya. If they are careful about that also, and they come to the right conclusion, their life is upadrataha. Life is always disturbed. You see, spiritual life requires certain amount of peaceful, so that we can control our senses, understand, contemplate. So certain peace is required. Kali Yuga, they are always disturbed. So this is what the sages are saying. And you should see the purport to this verse. This verse, I have just called it. This is called the anxiety verse. The reason is, if you see the first sentence of the purport to this verse and read the last sentence to the purport to this verse, Prabhupada says this. The first sentence is, the devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. So it's about devotees of the Lord are always, again, you see, same words Prabhupada is using, always anxious. Not sometimes they're anxious. On Sundays they become anxious. Monday to Saturday they're not anxious. No, it's not like that. The devotees of the Lord are always anxious. In other words, that anxiety must pervade our life. That is devotion. See the kind of devotion Srila Prabhupada is teaching us. The kind of devotion the Bhagavatam, the Gita is teaching us. The devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. See how Prabhupada begins that, because it's all about Kali Yuga and how Kali Yuga, so many unfortunate circumstances for the people of Kali Yuga. Kalavasmin yuge janaha, alpayushaha, mandaha, sumandamatayaha, mandabhagya, upadrataha. That is why when Prabhupada is reading this verse, he's catching that. This is the mood of the sages of Naimi. They are anxious. What is going to happen to the people of Kali Yuga? That is why they are framing those questions. And they are hoping Sutta Goswami will enlighten them. It's all about that. And so Prabhupada begins the purport like that and concludes the purport. The last sentence is, the sages of Naimisharanya are anxious to disentangle all fallen souls, and here they are seeking the remedy from Srila Sutta Goswami. See, that's why this is an anxiety verse. But we will miss that out. We will not see that. We will think it is, qualities of Kali Yuga are described here. When you see the qualities of Kali Yuga, suppose it is said, there is a house, there are 10 people living in the house, and there is fire in the house. And you will read that and it's okay, there is fire in the house, there are 10 people. No, this is dumb reading. When you hear, there's a house, 10 people, there is fire. Oh my God. That should be your anxiety. It should create that anxiety. But how do we read scriptures? We read, there are 10 people in the house. House is on the fire. This is, we are not reading it intelligently, thoughtfully, heartfully. We don't read, even Prabhupada's books, we miss out all this. Prabhupada is stirring up. Always anxious. We miss these kind of things. We take it as some piece of information. There is a house on fire, 10 people are living there. Okay. And we will talk about it, we'll give lecture. There are 10 people in the house, there is fire in the house. It is meant to stir us up. This is not. In fact, every day we come and sing. How Prabhupada has asked us to sing the first verse of the Guru Ashtaka. Samsara dava nalalida loka. This is our situation in life. That we are caught in a forest fire. When you are in a forest fire, you can't be saying, everything is nice. There is fire all around me. Whichever way I walk, there is fire. It's not normal. It is meant to wake us up. This is the situation we are in. So, this anxiety, always anxious, in sadhana stage, in our life, it should manifest in our behavior, in our activities, in our thinking. Well, there was one classmate of mine, I had made him also, like when we all took to Krishna consciousness, we went about talking to our friends, right? So this, my friend who was in college, he also became a devotee. And when I joined, he also joined the temple. And then, because he's close to me and he's a friend, but I was thinking, I made him a devotee. So I am, senior to him or something like that kind of idea. And sometimes, when the morning alarm goes off, when we were brahmacharis, I'm recollecting, he would wake me up and then I was thinking, he's waking me up. And I want to sleep little. And then he would come and whisper into my ears. Prabhupada says, how eager you are to rise in the morning for Mangalarti shows how serious you are in spiritual life. And I would say, this is the last thing I want to hear at this time. You are telling me this. But that's a fact. Prabhupada has said that. If you're serious in your spiritual life, you will be up for Mangalarati. It shows. So in other words, if we are always anxious, it must show. It's not that, I'm always anxious, but that's okay. That anxiety is all in my head, it is going on. It doesn't come out. No, it has to manifest in our sadhana, in our chanting, in our reading, in our service. That always anxious, it has to manifest. As brahmacharis, how do we manifest this? Always anxious. Brahmacharis are very fortunate. They somehow come out of their homes. Parents somehow crying, laughing, smiling, whatever. They left you all out. And you have come to lead a life in a temple. Once again, you should not become emotionally involved, entangled with the family. The family, they are going through their karma. It's unfolding. We don't want to appear, heartless and don't care, unconcerned. We don't want to appear. We want to be careful, but we should not get much involved. Yes, we understand. This is something that shows that Krishna, you are Mat Sarvasva. You are everything for me. Okay, I have my parents, my family. They are important. They take care of me. Yes, I will be, caring, but not want to get involved, entangled in their. Sometimes devotees will be speaking to their parents 1 hour, 1.5 hours, understanding this. Uncle said like that, aunt said, oh, this is happening. You don't have to. Leave it to them. Let them figure that out. We are blessed that we have come here. Let's become always anxious to serve Prabhupada's mission. As temple grihasthas, as grihasthas, there is a little socializing family that is permitted. But again, we should not make that as a big thing. We should still be focused on serving always anxious to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada. That should be the mood, even of a grihastha. And as institutional life, because this is how Prabhupada has given us an institution, and we have to live in this institution. Prabhupada is pleased by that. Prabhupada doesn't want us to leave this institution. Prabhupada shed tears when somebody was leaving away his institution. We don't want that to happen. We want Prabhupada to be smiling and happy at us. So we have to live in an institutional life. And in an institutional life, there are juniors, there are peers, there are seniors. We should be happily doing our services with all of them. Not with disgruntlement, with some hostility, with unhappiness and dissatisfaction, with so many grievances. No. We should learn that these are all some things will happen. Some harsh word will come. Some pleasant word will come. Something else will happen. We should not be disturbed by all that. That shows we are always anxious to serve the mission of the spiritual master. So we have to train our mind how to deal with all these circumstances. This shows that we are always anxious to serve the mission of the Lord, the mission of the spiritual master. And we have to be always anxious. And now, I'll close this one. So Prabhupada began, just as the devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord satisfied in every way. So King Nabhi, the priests, the Ritviks, all of them, they were great devotees. They were always anxious to please the Lord in every way. Because the Lord saw that, what did the Lord do? Just as the devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord satisfied in every way, similarly, the Supreme Lord is very anxious to present himself before his devotee. You see, just like we are cultivating anxiety, always to be anxious, as we are cultivating, because we have to move from the conditioned life to a liberated life, to a pure devotee life. We are trying to learn that, how to do that. The Lord is also anxious to present himself because he is Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman. He is also anxious. I want to be with the devotees. I want to present myself to the devotees. And they are very happy because Bhavan, Nija Purusha, Ikshana Vishaya Asi. Because they are always aspiring, their desire is that the Lord is the object of my vision. Ikshana Vishaya. So, to please King Nabhi and his assistant, the Lord appeared there. You see, this is the discussion going on. Why does the Lord appear? The Lord was moved by the grand sacrifices they did, all the different No, the Lord is not moved by that. The Lord was moved by the devotion of King Nabhi, his queen, and his assistant, the priest, and the Lord appeared there. So, Lord Vishnu's appearance at the sacrificial of Maharaj Nabhi was just to please the king and his assistants. Otherwise, there was no reason for his being present there. See how all these things are coming out so nicely in Srila Prabhupada's explanation. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.